Thank you for joining me. This video is basically about Venus through signs, but I'm going to really focus on Mooltrikonas because I've realised I was doing this papers for my Patreon page, and I was thinking I have never really touched on Mooltrikona signs and what do they actually mean. So Mooltrikona signs are, out of the 7 planets, excluding the nodes in Vedic Astrology, every planet has got, obviously the luminaries only own one's house, so Moon only owns Cancer, Sun only owns Leo, but the other planets, each of them have got two signs that they rule, and one is normally a male sign and the other one is a female sign. So basically the male sign of the planets, apart from Mercury and Moon, the male sign is normally the Mooltrikona sign, which means the root, or where the energy of the planet is. And obviously planets have got all different kinds of conditions. So planets can be exalted, which means that they can perform and give very strong fruits, as long as obviously all of this is dependent if they're not actually afflicted in any way. And then Mooltrikona will be the next strong placement for any planet, and then it will be own house, great friend, friendly sign, or obviously it would be neutral, and then it could be an enemy or great enemy depending on temporal friendships, and also debilitated, which will be the weakest condition for any planet. Now Mooltrikona means that obviously it's a root trine. It just means that this is where the planet, so if they own, like for example, if Saturn owns Capricorn is own house, whereas Aquarius is a Mooltrikona sign, and these are always at a particular degree as well. So for example, Sun is obviously exalted in Aries, it's debilitated in Libra, both of them at 10 degrees. But actually the head office, or the Mooltrikona for Leo is the Mooltrikona for the Sun at 0 to 20 degrees. And then after that is own sign. And then Moon is exalted at 3 degrees Taurus, debilitated at 3 degrees Scorpio, and between 3 to 27 degrees of Taurus is actually Mooltrikona sign. Now this is one of the only exceptions, this one and Mercury, where they have got female signs as their Mooltrikona signs. And then Mercury is obviously debilitated at 15 degrees of Pisces, exalted at 15 degrees of Virgo, but actually between 15 and 20 degrees of Virgo, that is this Mooltrikona, so it does work really, really well. And then we have Mars. Mars is obviously exalted at 28 degrees Capricorn, 28 degrees Cancer is its debilitation sign, and then 0 to 12 degrees of Aries will be its Mooltrikona sign. And then Jupiter will be 5 degrees of Cancer, exalted, 5 degrees of Capricorn, debilitated, and it's 0 to 10 degrees of Sagittarius will be its Mooltrikona sign. And then Venus will be Pisces, 27 degrees exalted, 27 degrees of Virgo will be when it's debilitated, and actually 0 to 15 degrees of Libra will be its Mooltrikona sign. And Saturn will be obviously 20 degrees of Libra exalted, 20 degrees of Aries will be debilitated, and 0 to 20 degrees of Aquarius will be its Mooltrikona sign. So you can see that these, they all have these Mooltrikona degrees, and that makes any yogas to do with those planets really, really strong. And if at any point, obviously that's the Vargotama degree as well, it makes the planet work really, really well. And obviously you want to check all of these with the D9, make sure that you see what's going on in the D9 as well. But what I'm going to show you today is just a slightly different way of looking at things. So I also want you to, whilst I'm doing this, to remember that where every placement is, you've got to really look into it. You mustn't just think that, oh, it's just one placement. Everything means so many more things. There are all different layers to it, so you want to make sure you take all of those things in consideration with every planet, actually, because although I'm going to do Venus today, and I might have to come back to it and do one for every sign, because it's a big subject. But basically, also, we all have chakras as well. So Venus also rules the heart chakra. And it's also, obviously, it's about receptivity, giving and receiving in equal measures because of Libra. Libra being sign of balance, it's always looking at that, looking to, sort of build relationships that they gain as much as they give. So they don't want to be in a relationship, that a really healthy Venus will not want to be in a relationship which is just one way. So, and obviously, in the natural zodiac, Venus rules 7th and 2nd house. So 2nd house is self-worth and resources and choices, and 7th house Libra, which is all to do with interaction with the world, other people, harmony with others. This technique is clearly very much to do with Mooltrikona signs, and I know I will be doing more videos about Mooltrikona, because there are also techniques of how you can use Mooltrikona signs in order to do really accurate chart readings as well. So for now, if we just concentrate on Venus in Scorpio using the Mooltrikona signs. So we know that from Libra, Scorpio is the 2nd house of from Libra. So this means that this will have connotations of Taurus in a sense, even though obviously it's not Taurus sign. So this will be these people, when they have Venus in Scorpio, they kind of want to be in a relationship which is a really good choice for them, because after all, 2nd house of the natural zodiac is Taurus, and it's all about making good choices, making choices which are right for them, for family and for resources and stability. Again, that 2nd house thing. And 2nd house also rules the face. So having Venus in the what would be like the 2nd house will be somebody, obviously these people want to be, and obviously Libra will be their Mooltrikona for Venus, will be how we express ourselves, and the feminine sign Taurus will be how we go on to fulfill our desires. So clearly these people, Venus in Scorpio, will be very much motivated by somebody who has got really good resources, somebody who has got stability in their resources. So there's that will be a real motivation for them, and also the person's looks as well, because they will be interested in the aesthetics of the person, particularly the men. They will be really interested in the females, how they look. So it will be a choice, what I would say, made for both men and women, actually, would be like values, wealth and looks. These are what they're really searching for. And clearly this sign of Scorpio is very much about emotional connection as well. They want to emotionally bond with somebody. And we can find out so much more about them by the condition of everything, by looking at K2 and Mars and any aspects to Venus, or But nonetheless, though, this is literally I'm just giving you a very simple, a different way of looking at things to do with this this placement. So basically, 2nd house is will have those connotations based on values. Wants to look after their partners. These people will be
it's also Taurus. It'll have, obviously, because it's got Taurus connotations of senses as well. So they will be wanting to wine and dine their partners. So they'll be like very much to do with really good good food, kind of yeah. So those kind of things will be, you know, they need to kind of like it's got to have to be like a bit of so the resources were really important to them, the wealth of the partner, and also they know that the moment they get, you know, the moment they get married, you know, they want to know that they're going to be, their wealth is going to grow with a partner as well. And then you've got to think that from Scorpio, then Taurus will be 7 houses away. So this will be a very sexual based relationship as well. So 7th house is sexual intercourse, sexual relationship. So their desires to fulfill that expression of Venus will be to do with not just their looks, but how they will actually, the chemistry between them. So it will be very sexually charged relationship. So they, yeah, and you will find that they will, they want their desires met through sex, through partnerships. They probably even want to work with their partners as well, because obviously 7th houses will be like, have connotations with business as well. And but obviously what happens is Taurus is making good choices, and because Venus is also aspecting Taurus from Scorpio, they are not going to put up with anyone, because obviously and particularly in certain Nakshatras in Scorpio, if the partner does not fulfill them sexually, they'll walk away, because they will not hang around, because they want that connection, sexual connection, because they want to be like surrendering to the partner. And because it has, obviously it's got the connotations of Venus, but it's got connotations of Mars and Ketu as well. So it'd be like, my desires are not being fulfilled, therefore I'm walking away. You know, and they could just leave the partner without even explaining what's happened. So it can have those sort of things happening as well. And you also got to think what planets are exalted or debilitated in that sign as well. So you know that Moon is debilitated in Scorpio. So it would just mean that these people, probably because the connection with mum is not strong, or they feel as though they have not been nurtured. You know, obviously it depends on many other things as well, condition of Cancer and the Moon as well. But generally, could, you know, because of that, so the expectation of the partner is quite high, because they have to fulfill quite a lot of things. Because not only do they have to be sexy and good looking, and there could be like material gains through it as well for both. They're not just trying to just have it for themselves. It's a partnership, but sexual fulfillment. But obviously, you know, they just can't, there's an expectation, because from there also you got to see that Moon will be ruling the 9th house. It's almost like a parental thing. So they want like to create this family, which is like maybe fulfilling everything to do with what has been missing as well. So there's lot of things going on there. So, you know, it's not going to be like an easy, like a Taurus 2nd house. This is like Scorpio 2nd house Venus. You know, it's very, very different. Yeah, so there could be a little bit of control then over the partner, because also it's you know, Scorpio is possessive and sees everything as a possession. So so that could be happening as well. So, you know, I mean, I just think that, you know, it's really interesting when you look at the signs, because they reveal so much about the psyche of the people. And we all have Scorpio somewhere in our life where we are actually trying to control things. So you don't want to just think that, oh, you know, but yeah, we can't really be judgmental about anyone with any kind of placements, because we're all working through things. And it could be that we have this in a Varga somewhere as well. So yeah, so there is this thing going on, but you know, there's just like so if Moon is not in good condition as well, there's like emotional dependence on the partner as well. So there's quite a lot of responsibility put on the partner. Obviously, for women as well, you want to have a look at Jupiter condition as well. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. It's like you know, it questions kind of all the female, for a man, all the female relationships that they have. And you know, Mars and Venus are neutral to each other. It's not going to be like damaging in any way to Venus, unless if it's being aspected by malefics, more malefics than just the sign. So you just want to just really just have a look at that and just see, because you know, if you feel as though you are kind of like, in a sense, the motivations that you have in relationships might be the more negative nature of it, you know, of the sign of Scorpio on Venus. You want to work on that really, because Venus Mars is, honestly, it's not that bad, as you know, because they're neutral towards each other. If they were enemies, then they, you know, like Sun Venus are enemies, so they want to hurt each other. There's ego things going on. I'm better than you. You know, I'm more in control than you. This is not like that. Even Sun and Venus you can work on. This is the beauty of Vedic astrology, because it just what it does, it empowers you. Just makes you think how you are, your contribution to any situation. So because we are students of Jyotish, we want to have less karmic imprints and footprints, whatever you want to call it, you know, on Earth. So you want to just like have much more healthier relationships. So anyway, this is my take on this, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.